You've been thinking about moving to Delaware and you've done your research and you decided to move to the capital. That's right, Dover, Delaware. Well, you just hit the jackpot because in this video, I'm gonna go over some of the pros and cons that come with living in Dover, Delaware. And by the end of the video, you'll know whether Dover, Delaware is right for you or not. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Windom, and I help people buy and sell homes here in Delaware. And on this channel, I go over exactly what it's like living here in Delaware. And if you're thinking about potentially buying or selling a home here in Delaware, I'd love to have a conversation to see if it made sense for us to potentially work together. So I'll leave my info here on screen and then again in the description down below. But now let's jump right into it. So the first pro that I would have to say would be the commute time and the convenience. Now, if you watch any of my other videos before, you know exactly how I feel about traffic. And you know I'd rather put out wildfires in gasoline underwear than to sit in a traffic jam. So needless to say, commute time is something that's very important to me. And here in Dover, it's about 21 minutes on average. Now compare that to the US average of 26 minutes, and you may not think that 5 minutes makes a difference, but trust me, it does. Now I know I said commute and convenience, and when I say convenience, I mean as far as getting your day-to-day necessity. So for instance, if we're talking about grocery stores, there's a ton of them in Dover and they're all maybe 5 to 10 minutes from each other. So if there's a specific one that you like, it's probably right around the corner from you. I mean, we have Food Lion, Walmart, Aldi, Redner's. I mean, there's just a bunch, and literally they're all within 5 to 10 minutes of each other. And besides groceries, I mean, even if you're talking about just to go grab some gas or a quick bite, there's plenty of gas stations and local businesses or big box chains to actually grab something to eat. And they're usually all just within minutes of each other. And even with some recreational activities, Dover has it. I mean, we do have a mall here. Now, I know before I get crucified, the mall isn't the best mall, but it's still a mall. It's there, it exists. You know, you have a casino in Bally's if you want to gamble or potentially catch a show or maybe go to a restaurant in there. And all this is going to be right there in, you know, in Dover, all within 10 to 15 minutes of each other, no matter where you live at in Dover. Now, the second pro here is educational institutions. Now, it's one I don't really hear about much or people mention that much, but if you have children that are coming of age to go to college, or maybe you potentially want to go back to college to further your career, just in Dover alone, there's 3 colleges and they're literally 5 minutes apart from each other. So the first one is Deltech Community College, and they offer 2-year programs as well as some 4-year programs and certificate degrees at a very affordable cost. And when I say affordable, I really do mean affordable. There's a lot of local scholarships for Delaware high school graduates that you can potentially go there and get an associate's degree or potentially maybe even a bachelor's with little or no cost out of pocket with the SEED scholarship. And the next college is literally only 2 minutes away. And when I say 2 minutes, I really mean 2 minutes. If you're on the Deltech campus, you can potentially see Wilmington University right from the campus. And Wilmington University is another college that's, you know, right there that offers both graduate and undergraduate degrees and some certificate programs. And you can do online and everything else. Now, literally just 5 minutes down the road from Wilmington University, you have the biggest of all the colleges here in Dover and the only HBCU in Delaware, which would be Delaware State University. So Delaware State University offers the full college experience with on-campus living if you want to live in dorms, or they have the Greek life there if you want to join a sorority or a fraternity, and they're also a Division I athletics. And for the most part, all these colleges being in such close proximity to one another, they tend to play nice with each other. And what I mean by that is that if you were to potentially go to Deltech to get your associates and then you wanted to transfer to Wilmington University or go to Del State, chances are a majority of your credits are going to transfer so that you can get that bachelor's degree without having to start all over again or start from scratch with, you know, no credits at all. Pro number 3 is obviously Dover Air Force Base. So located in Dover is, you guessed it, Dover Air Force Base. So if you're an active duty member or maybe you're a retiree, you can see how it would be advantageous to live close vicinity of a military base, whether it's for, you know, medical treatment or the additional services or amenities that the base may offer for free for, you know, you serving our country, such as the gym or maybe the BX, the shop at, or even the golf course there. Now, I know you may be saying, Brandon, I'm not military, but the base being here in Dover does benefit you as well, because even though you're not military, they still employ a bunch of civilians. So if if you're looking for a job, the government is always, hiring new people to support the military members. Now, another benefit is that maybe if you're a small business owner or an investor, because of the large military population here, there leaves a lot of opportunities and niche services that you can offer to the military. Or if you just provide a good service, chances are if you help, some military members, they're going to tell their friends, and as you know, in the military, word travels fast, and that could translate into you having a thriving business that may have not been as well somewhere else, or it may just help you grow your business. And another byproduct is that businesses are taking note of the big military presence here, so they're deciding to open up their businesses in Dover. So that means that we may have more businesses here in Dover and services that you may not see in other parts of the state. Now, you can't have the good without the bad, so let's hop right into the cons. Now, the first con is the commute. Now, hear me out. I know I said the commute is easy, and it is. You're going to need a car because Dover isn't very walkable, and the public transportation here isn't as robust as you would see in other cities like New York or big metro areas. The only real public transportation we have here in Dover is the bus system, which is known as DART. And unfortunately, DART is good, but it does have some limited routes and limited hours as well. So while nothing is too far of a drive here in Dover, if your vehicle is a brand new pair of Jordan 1s, it can seem very far away. The second con that we have here in Dover is going to be lack of activities and nightlife. Now, if you're used to a very city or urban type living, Dover is going to be quite a shock to you because just in general, Dover is mostly suburban. And because of that, you don't have a ton of nightlife or night activities to do here. Now, I'm not going to say it's non-existent, but there's maybe only a couple. You got Irish Mike's that's in downtown Dover. You got McGlynn's, and they actually just opened up a new beer garden called Rail House. So it's not completely non-existent, but there isn't a ton of choices here in Dover. So if that's something important to you because you're single, or maybe you are in a relationship but you like to go out for date night or whatever that may be, that might be something you need to think about. Now, I know Dover is the capital of Delaware, but it being a smaller city, if you compare it to somewhere like Philadelphia or New York, there isn't a bunch of opportunities or options for entertainment here. There isn't very many theaters or music venues or sporting events. Now, as far as large scale entertainment, the only venue that we really have is just Bally's Casino. They'll have, musical guests and everything come in, and they do have the NASCAR Monster Mile there. But other than that, that's pretty much the only large scale venue for entertainment we have here in Dover. Now, the third con is going to be healthcare. Now, Dover does have a major hospital in Bay Health, the Kent campus, but because it services a great deal of patients, especially around flu season, the wait times can be astronomical. And because there's so many patients to be serviced here in Dover, that tends to run over into other practices as well. So if you're just trying to find a general practitioner and you're trying to schedule something, the wait times can be, 3, 4, 6 months out. And sometimes they may not even be accepting new patients. So if you're someone who, maybe needs to see the doctor more often, or if you have, specialized medical care that you need, you may have to look outside of Dover or maybe even outside of the state to get that specialized care that you need. So now that you know some of the pros and cons of living here in Dover, Delaware, you can make a more informed decision on whether or not Dover is the right place for you or not. But if you enjoyed this video and you want to see other content just like it, I made another video discussing Delaware right here.